Hey, hello and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. This reflects image. If this is your first time visiting, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and also turn on the notification icon. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to extend a smoothing studio backdrop. This works for all studio backdrop as long as it's a plain backdrop. So no matter the amount of wrinkle on it, you can actually smoothen everything out and also maintain the shadow and also extend it at the same time. So no further ado, let's jump into action. This picture was taken with Canon 6D, as you can see. The three light setup, the third light is coming from the back. The major light is my 8200 Pro, the backup light, my TT520 flash. While the third light is a stable light, Suit Photo LI100, something like that. So what I'm going to do is to open my picture in Photoshop, wait for it to load up. So, as you guys know, I do manipulation a lot. And before you actually know how to manipulate, you need to know this step I use in actually background extension and removing blemishes from the background. You guys might think it's something very complex to learn, but it's very easy, and I will show you how to do that with just about 4 to 5 steps. So the first step is for you to do what is to crop your picture to the size you want. So as you see, when I cropped it out, the border room at the top is a little bit more, and also it's cutting part of the foot area for me. So I'm trying to extend it from the down, also from the up, to fit that same size. As you can see, we have some lines over here which are not supposed to be there. This background is supposed to be here. But since our background is not wide enough, that's why it's actually giving us something like this. So I'll show you how to actually fill that area up with the initial backdrop color and also smoothing everything all together. So once you extend it like this, just click on OK on your keyboard. The next thing for you to do is to come to your background layer, duplicate it once by clicking on Ctrl J or Command J on your PC. Once you're done with that, next thing you need to do is to go to your quick selection tool, then click on select subject. So wait for this the AI to do the selection for you. Some of the time it does 80% of the job. You just have to complete everything. As you can see, it gave me something nice, but the selection is not that perfect. So I'll just have to do what? Add to the selection over here and check if there's any error again. As you can see, there's an error here. I'll pick my polygonal axis tool. Then this is going to be a subtraction tool. So I'll change it back to subtraction. I'll zoom in. I'm going to actually subtract this area from selection. So it's not a must to use all the tools. The tools I'm using, you can actually use the one you know how to use. There are so many tools there. We have the magnetic lasso tool. We have the lasso tool itself. And we also have the pen tool. You can actually use the pen tool to make selection. So look at this area also now. This area is nowhere selected. So I'll add this area to the selection also. I'll add it back to the selection. Just make sure you take your time as much as possible to do the selection perfectly. So this area also I'll add to the selection. I'll add this area up to the selection. So zoom in very well so that I can see whatever error you actually made. So I think there's also a small area here also which needs to be added. Look at here also again. Let me just add this area up. You can see right now. Also the hand also. Just add it. Just make sure you do the selection perfectly. Selection is just all you need in this tutorial right now. So let's say we're done with the selection right now. The next thing you need to do is to right click on it, go to feather, make sure you are feathering by 2 pixels and above, depending on the resolution of the picture you are using. So click on OK. Once you're done, just go to your marks, click on the marks over here. So you won't know what to just do right now for people that don't know how to make use of the marks. Then to turn off your background layer, you can see we have our subject on a separate new background. So turn it back on right now, then go back to the background layer again and duplicate it once more by clicking on Ctrl J on your keyboard. So hold down your Control key, go to the max you created on the first layer, which the one we created earlier on. Click on the max. What this does is going to bring back the selection for you instead of selecting from scratch again. Then the next thing you need to do is to go to select, number select, comes out to modify, then go to expand. So you are doing what? Expanding by 8 pixels, then you click on OK. So the next thing we do right now is to add these areas up to our selection. So the tool I'll be using right now is called my rectangle marquee tool, which is right over here. So I'm going to select this area a little bit. Then I'm going to select it from the top straight down. And notice when I'm selecting it, I'm selecting part of the background. The reason is that if you are not to select part of the background, it's not going to know where to sample from to fill that area up for you. Make sure you're selecting part of the background so that the eye is going to know where it's going to sample color from to fill that area up. So, and the reason why I was able to do more than one selection is because I'm on addition. If I'm on single selection, I can only make that first selection. I can't make the second selection. So I'll come to this area also. I'll do the same thing here. And I'm going to do it down like this. I'm going to do it on this tiny area also. Next thing I just have to do is just to right click on it, go to fill, and make sure I do what? I click on content aware, color adaptation is on, my blending mode is on normal, opacity 100%. Then I'll click on OK. All I just need to do is just to sit back and watch what it's actually going to do for me. Let's see what it's actually going to give to us right now. And boom, look at what it did. It filled the entire area up with the initial background. So someone might think this is how wide my studio backdrop is without knowing I did an extension and I also cleaned it up. So all you just need to do right now is to click on Ctrl D on your keyboard or Command D if you are using a MacBook. This is actually very, very nice, but the background still has some wrinkles on it, which you are going to smoothen out right now. Zoom in very well, pick your patch tool. This small wrinkle at the bottom, let's actually clean this up right now. Let's clean this up, circle around it, drag it to a cleaner area. Let's do that. The reason why I'm actually doing that to this area is going to still be part of the selection once we blur out the other area and smoothen the backdrop. So let's just try as much as possible to clean this area up. So let's keep doing that. So let's say we're done with that area right now. The next thing you just need to do is to come to this area where we filled the background up. You might not know what you just did right now, but you have to turn off your background, your subject layer, which is this one. As you can see, we actually created an entire new layer based on the background alone without the subject. What we did firstly was to create the subject without the background. The next thing we did is to create the background without the subject. So now the one we created the background without the subject right now, we duplicate this one more by clicking on Ctrl J. Then we'll go to filter, under filter, I'll go to blur. Then we'll go to Gaussian blur. Wait for it to load up. The radius I love using the most is 200. Now click on my OK. But you can see the moment I use the 200 right now, the shadow on the footer area is no longer there. And without the footer area shadow, it won't look very, very realistic. All I just need to do right now is to create a mask on it. Create the mask on what we just blurred out. Pick my brush, make sure the color is on black. I'll be using about 50% as my what? As my brush opacity. Then I'm going to scroll over where I know the shadow is initially. As you can see, we're going to do what? Bring back the shadows for us. As you can see right now, we've expanded our backdrop and it looks very, very nice at the same time. With this right now, you can just export your picture and call it a day. Or you can do what? You can just decide to change the color of your background with same pitch. Maybe just a simple trick. Come to the adjustment layer over here, go to your hue and saturation. Under hue and saturation, just keep messing with the hue. But if that is not doing you justice, do what? Click on colorize. You can see right now. So keep switching the color till you see the one that is going to satisfy your taste. Very, very easy as that. No hidden tricks, nothing at all from A to Z. So if this video helps, kindly share, like, and subscribe. Also comment. It's going to help YouTube recommend my videos to others. And also, if you're interested in getting of my picture editing files, they're available for sale on my store. Just go to my store and purchase them today. So see you guys on my next video tutorial. Reflect out. So in case you're interested in getting any of my picture editing file, from my overlays down to my color lookup, which is my LUT file, so you just have to scroll down to your video. So under the comment, this is my description. So it's not going to load the description for you. You just have to click on show more, click on it. So it's going to show all the options. Once it does that, just click on my store link. So here's my store link. Once you click on it, it's going to take you directly to my store. So you can actually select any file you want. From the color lookup, this is a light skin LUTs. This is a feather which I use in my recent video. This is 100 premium baby overlays. This is my first video course. This video course entails on how to download all the files I want. The site I use in downloading all my files free of charge, including my Photoshop panels also. This includes my PNG files. This includes all my packs, all my picture editing files, my premium overlay, my PNG, my flying fabrics, my color lookup, my presets. So once you buy this, you've already bought everything.
apart from this one. So here is my flying fabrics. Here is my, in case you want to give me any project for me to work on. Here's my color lookup, here is my background overlay, and here is my preset file. So in case you're interested in buying any one, you can actually go for them. The good news there is that you can actually buy your own currency, any currency of your choice. You can buy with any currency of your choice.